Hi, I'm Ashley. I work for the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Have you ever read Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss? I love sharing this story with my boys. In this book, Horton the elephant is the only one in the jungle who can hear the people of Whoville calling for help from their tiny town on a speck of dust. Horton is determined to protect them, saying, "A person's a person, no matter how small." He advocates for the Whos as he courageously stands up for equality. Despite the threatened harm to himself, he proves every voice counts. Can you think of the people in your community who are treated as the small people? Who are the people who are unheard, unseen, or ignored? Let's think of the people we know who struggle to be heard as we go learn how to draw Horton in an artistic creations lesson. You probably have all the supplies you need around the house. Let's go! Today I'm using paper and oil pastels, but you can use any art supplies you have around your house: crayons, colored pencils, markers, paints, or even sidewalk chalk. So let's get started. I'm going to begin by drawing Horton's eyes. There's 2 circles for his eyes, and I'm putting them just a little bit off center of the page. And his eyes are kind of close together. Just 2 nice circles there for his eyes. And I'm going to add his pupils, and they're going to be U's. So you just draw a U over here, looking to his left. And there you go. He's going to be looking at that speck of dust he is protecting. To finish the eyes, I'm going to add this kind of curved line at the top. That is his eyelid. So both of his eyes have just this diagonal line kind of curving down. And then this eye over here has this little tail. So you make that to be kind of a 9 for that eye. And he has great big bushy eyebrows. So I'm going to add some great big bushy eyebrows above these eyes here. And I'm just doing that by making some squiggly lines with my black oil pastel. And I'm using black. The illustration in the book, you can see he is just outlined in black, and he's black and white in all the pages here. But we can always color him in later if we want. So I'm starting with black to outline, but we can get creative and add our own touch later. Now that we have his eyes in, we're going to add that he has some great big wrinkles above his eyebrows. So he has one great big wrinkle here. It's kind of like an upside down U there. And we'll do another one over here. Over here, it kind of more looks like a rainbow because we're going to add another one above it. So another great big wrinkle up there to make a little rainbow kind of effect there. And over here, I'm just going to do a curved line around here for the top of his head. And right in between, he has kind of crazy hair to do, a little like a mohawk. So I'm just going to add a bit of crazy hair up here. And that's looking pretty good. To continue, I am going to do his ears. So over here is his right ear, and I'm just going to do kind of a swooped arch line and then go all the way up to the top. And at the top, we're going to curve down and swoop around like that. So it's kind of like a roller coaster there. And at the bottom, we're going to add these sideways 3s or some W's over here. So big ones on here and a little bit smaller ones over on this side. And we're going to draw another little roller coaster starting around here at the top of his head. And we're going to go up and down and swoop around. And we're also going to make some great big 3s or a W with an extra little loop there. There we go. All right, now that we have the ears in, we're gonna add the trunk. So we're gonna start up here leave a little bit of a gap, but then come down and make a big U, curving around to this other ear and stopping right below his eyes. We're gonna go into about the middle part of his trunk here, and we're gonna add the other side. It's gonna be wider here than it is over here. So we're gonna curve around and make a J right there, a J shape there. And for the top of his trunk, we're gonna make this E. And we're gonna make a line there, and we're gonna loop around and come around like the shape of an E. But then at the end, we're gonna make a tail and come back in to close it. So it's a funny looking E there, and we're gonna add just this circle in the middle, kind of a spirally circle in the middle there. Now his mouth just is a line that comes not at the top of the trunk, just down below, and it curves up. He has this nice cheek line there too. And then his chin just comes angled around and loops in so like it would connect to his ear behind his trunk there. All right. Now, we're gonna add some definition for his ears. So starting on this side, we're gonna start just down below from here, and we're gonna just follow this line up, this little roller coaster up. We're gonna come around and up and down, but we're not gonna go all the way down, just part way down to give it a little bit of a 3D effect there for his ear, just some dimension. And on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna leave a gap here between his wrinkle and this line. We're gonna just follow this roller coaster up and down part way. There we go. Now, in his trunk, he's holding that flower that this speck of dust is on. So we're gonna make this kind of jaggedy line, kind of like a lightning bolt coming out of his trunk for the stem of the flower. And then it kind of looks like a dandelion. So I'm just going to make these lines coming out in the shape of a circle there. And there's his little thing. And then I'm just gonna add this little line here to connect. So now we're gonna go with the body. And I'm gonna start here between this kind of point in the W and just come down and wrap around. And then I'm gonna leave a bit of a gap where his tail is going and then coming back around here. So that's kind of his back. And then his tail just is kind of like a S shape, or maybe another little lightning bolt shape there. And he has these crazy hairs coming out of his tail too, just like he has on top of his head. So we'll add those in. Great. Right in the middle of his trunk here is his front legs come out. So I'm gonna angle down there ways, and then I'm gonna angle over for his leg. And then he has his big feet. So it's a rounded kind of curved line next to a straight line there. He has another foot here next to it. Another straight line with the curved line coming in. And his heel comes down here. I'm gonna do that first, and then it goes straight across the other way and up and over again. So there is 3 of his legs. His 4th one is back behind there, so you're not gonna see it. On his toes, he has an M, basically two toenails. So I'm gonna call those M's. You can do, and then on this one, I'm just gonna do 1 because that's his back foot. So we're not gonna see the other one there. So to add this leg in, I'm just gonna follow this line up, go straight up here, and then a curved line at the top like a fancy T. So we're gonna make a T shape right here for his leg. And then we have this funny little S shape. for his other leg here. So there we go. So we have a T and an S for his legs there. And then this one is just a curved line there. So kind of a backwards C. A C, an S, and a T. There you go. Have it a backwards C, I should say. Maybe a crescent moon there. And then he has some wrinkles. So anywhere where his joints meet, he has these little wrinkles. So I'm going to add 3 lines right there. Maybe an extra little bit right there. In his foot, he has an extra little bit on this foot too. And then a couple little lines there for the crease in that leg. And maybe a couple little curved lines up here for the top of his armpit there. And again up here also. There, that looks good. I think I like that. All right, his trunk has some lines on it too, of course. The ridges on his trunk, so I'm going to add those in. And they're just little curved lines that follow the length of his trunk, longer in the wider part and smaller as it goes up. I'm going to add those lines here, 3 of them right here for the little wrapped part of his trunk that's holding that flower. All right, he has a few little wrinkles here on his chin, so I'm going to add those there as well. And it looks like it's time for us to shade him. So if you want to shade him, he's got some shading in his ears. We're going to add that there, little shading here and over here. Just take the side of your crayon or your oil pastel and just fill that in a little. And he has a bit of shading here where his ear is shadowing on his back and some right under here where he's sitting. That looks pretty good. So here is Horton. You can leave him like this. You can color him in if you want. You can color him gray or blue or whatever your favorite color is. In the book, this flower is pink. So I'm just going to add some pink right here. And you can fill that in. And you can fill in the background too. If you want to make some fun trees or bushes, he's in a jungle, remember? And in the story, there's a lot of blue and red trees and bushes in the background. And feel free to fill it in and share with us your picture. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope your drawing of Horton reminds you to have courage, to stand up for the small people in your community, to use your voice to fight for the rights of others. Bye.